Time now for Inside Out as we welcome in SNY NBA insider Ian Begley. And Ian, RJ Barrett has been talking about his defense throughout the preseason and the beginning of the season. DeMar DeRozan's a proven scorer in this league. So what kind of a notch in Barrett's belt is it to force DeRozan into that air ball?
This is big because you can easily see how a young player like Barrett would get up in the air and foul DeRozan in that situation. But RJ Barrett, Tom Thibodeau has talked about it too, how much stronger he's gotten and how much better his defense has gotten on the ball. And you saw an example of that when the Knicks needed it most. So this is a big credit to RJ Barrett. He talked about wanting to be a first-team all-defense player and wanting to take the challenge of guarding the opposing player's top wing. That's something that Reggie Bullock did last season and did very well for a Knicks team that was one of the top defenses in the NBA. Now RJ Barrett's sliding into that role, and as you saw tonight, he's showing you that he can handle it.
All right, Kemba Walker with 5 threes for the second straight game. What stands out to you as the biggest difference in Kemba in the last 2 games as opposed to the first 3?
I think you're going to see Kemba, even though he's played so well the last couple of games, you might see him go up and down here early on in the season because he and Fournier are still getting accustomed to playing with the Knicks starting 5. But tonight and the other night, he just got in rhythm and he was getting space. Chicago was giving him some space and he was taking advantage of that space. And you don't want to give Kemba Walker space. I don't care what year he is in his career, how his knee's feeling. You give him enough space, he's going to knock down a jump shot. That's what he's seen the last couple nights, and he's taking advantage of that.
Rhythm and space were 2 things the Knicks did not have any of late in this game. They get the win, but much like in the opener against Boston, the offensive execution down the stretch, absolutely awful. Ian, why do the Knicks become so stagnant with the ball in those endgame situations?
Hard to say, Eamon. Maybe it's just not being there as a group, not being there together, playing in these situations. Again, you have 2 new starters. Mitchell Robinson didn't play much last season, so maybe 3 new starters. And so the core players are not on the floor in these situations together. Like, they don't have that history. Julius Randle seemed like he was trying to do too much late. And before that stretch, you would have said that Randle had a tremendous game, even though he didn't shoot it well, because he rebounded the ball. He found open shooters. He played a great floor game. But late, he looked like he was trying to do a little bit too much. You missed those 2 free throws. So if you're the Knicks, you hope your club learns from this moving forward and they can execute better late in the next close game.
Yep, plenty to work on in the late game situations, but they get the road victory. Ian Begley, thanks for joining us here on SportsNite.